Hi, this is Beth. I'm one of the counselors here at Montgomery County Women's Center, and today I wanted to talk about self-care. Okay, I know everyone does self-care, everyone talks about self-care, but I think sometimes we get confused about what is the difference between self-care and self-indulgence. So just getting something because you're like, oh, I feel like it doesn't mean it's self-care. And so it's something I use a lot in counseling or for myself even is this self-care wheel. And you can just Google it and I'll bring it up on the screen. But if you look here, there's like a whole wheel and it kind of breaks it down into different sections of self-care and different areas of self-care because you may be like, well, I eat healthy, sleep well, do these things, but I still feel really stressed or feel like it's not enough, if that makes sense. Like the stress is outweighing the self-care. So it's about a balance, right? And so as stress increases, we need to do more to make sure our self-care. And so these are different things in different areas to consider, and it even gives examples. So let me pull it up. Okay. So here it is. So the self-care wheel. This one is just the one with the examples, but you can even get one. There's one where it has like the blank one. And I like using that one too, because then I can do it with my clients. Or sometimes we just highlight the examples there. But I like to kind of figure out what is already working and what are they already doing, and then go from there. And so, and it can even tell us, okay, like they're doing really good in the department of physical self-care, but not so much in the emotional or professional, or if that makes sense. And so knowing this can help figure out how best to balance it out. So physical self-care is feeling safe. It's regular medical care, eating healthy, exercising, getting enough sleep, vaccinations, if that's part of your religion or beliefs, taking time off. Some people even do massages or acupuncture, or maybe you're a bubble bath person, right? Asking for nurture, taking walks. So basically keeping your physical form safe and healthy and well cared for. Psychological is self-reflection, therapy, journal, self-awareness, sensory engagement. So using all of their senses that you have, drawing, painting, so art, being artistic. Again, that's part of the sensory as well. Maybe going to symphony or ballet, reading books. So you're cultivating, you're caring for your psychological part of yourself. Psychological part of your form. I don't know how else to explain it, but reading a self-help book, joining a support group, thinking about your positive qualities, practice asking and receiving help. That can be a really big, hard one for a lot of people, including myself. So sideways to the right is emotional. So we all have emotional parts, emotional selves. And this is where you want to cultivate that part is through affirmation, self-love, self-compassion, crying, allowing yourself to cry or express those feelings, those emotions. Social justice engagement, laughing, saying I love you, watching a funny movie, find a hobby, flirt, buy yourself a present, cuddle with your pet, tell yourself that you're gorgeous, or practicing forgiveness. And that can be for others or yourself. And of course, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. And these are just ideas. I'm sure there's many other things that could be missing. And then there's some activities like yoga could fall into several of these categories at once, depending on the type of yoga and things like that. So spiritual. self-reflection, going into nature, finding your spiritual community. So again, that could be whatever, that can mean anything for each and every one of you. Cherishing yourself, meditate, sing, dance, play, be inspired. So being a playful person cultivates your spiritual part. Take yoga. So it's not, looks like they put yoga in this section, but it could also include in the physical and maybe even another one. But we'll see. Play with children, because kids know how to play and be playful. Bathe in the ocean. Watch sunsets. Pray if that's part of your beliefs. Find spiritual mentor. Volunteer for a cause, or foster self-forgiveness. And notice forgiveness is in 2 different places. Interesting. And this is one of those worksheets that I have found to be very, very helpful, especially if you work with population that has a lot of trauma. But okay, personal part, the personal self side. Learn who you are. So that's self-exploration, self-awareness. So you can do that through therapy. So I know therapy is up here in psychological, but that can also be part of your personal plan, short or long-term goals, make a vision board, foster friendships, go on a date, get coffee with a friend. So that's cultivating your friendships. Get out of debt. That can help a lot. With stress, just relax, write a poem or a book. Spend time with your family and cook out or learn to play a guitar, like learn a new hobby, right? Okay, professional. Take time for lunch. That's big. That's one I struggle with. Setting boundaries. So that can be with coworkers, or boundaries with time when you're working. So you leave work at work and you stay home, like you don't work at home. Work within your hours, your time. Taking breaks for lunch, taking breaks as needed. Do not work overtime. So again, that's working within your hours. You work, okay, it's even saying these things. Okay, I didn't even realize. During, take your time off. Make sure you're not in contact with work when you're off. Get regular supervision. So for some professionals, that's mandated in order to get your licensing, but continue that. Or maybe even with supervision, it's peer consultation. So you're consulting with other professional peers. Get support with colleagues. There you go. Take mental health days. Yes, absolutely. Learn to say no. That's been hard and I'm getting better at it. Plan your next career move if you have one, if you want one. Take a class. Take a vacation. Take all of your vacation and sick days. So really just take care of yourself. Maybe people get awards for working hard, but you're just also going to burn out. And so it's about staying in the game as long as possible and as healthy as possible. And this is something that I use with my clients as well, because trauma can affect all of these areas. And so I'll highlight and we'll be like, oh man, you're really strong in this area, but man, you're not even taking care of this part of yourself. And this one is okay. And so it's about figuring out the balance. And if you saying all this and reading all this, which section, let's see if I can zoom it. But out of these sections, which areas do you feel like you're doing really well in? And what area do you think that you could grow in? And when you look at the area that you could grow in, what's one thing you could add? One thing that you feel like would benefit you the most during this time, that would give you the most out of your time, if that makes sense. I'm not a bubble bath person, so that wouldn't help me. No, like that wouldn't help me. But maybe taking a shower, or like longer showers, or more if I'm like feeling like I need to just decompress. Or my thing though is probably, to be honest, I need to do my yoga. I have like a trauma-informed yoga thing I look at, and it probably helps me the most because I feel grounded afterwards. But yeah, so if you could take anything out of this section, out of this video, what is the one thing, one area that you could improve on, and what's the one activity in that section that you could do? Don't have to actually give me the answer, but something to think about. Thank you for joining, and thank you for watching this video with me. I hope y'all are doing well, and take care of yourselves, especially during this month, sexual assault awareness month, excuse me. But it can also be a highly triggering time or a highly distressful time for some clients and or some individuals. So be sure to be mindful of that and take care of yourself during this time.